Hello and welcome to Keep It Simple, Stupid Math. We covered adding and subtracting numbers in the last video, so if you already got that, then go ahead and skip this one. This video will show you another way you can visualize adding and subtracting numbers. Let's start with using the same numbers of 4 plus a positive 3. I like to visualize this by thinking of a car on a number line. So 4 would be your starting point here. That's where the car is starting from. The operating sign here, which is your addition or subtraction, this is kind of like your drive mode. The plus sign is your forward mode, and the minus sign would be like your reverse mode. The sign on the number indicates which direction the car is facing. So positive, the car is facing right, and negative, the car is facing left. And then the actual number tells us how many units the car will be moving, either left or right. So this car will be starting at positive 4, the car is in forward mode, the car is facing right, and will move 3 units. The result of this operation moves the car from 4 all the way to 7. So 4 plus a positive 3 equals a positive 7. And we don't need to write the positive sign of a positive number. We can just write this as 4 plus 3 equals 7. Now, instead of adding a positive number, let's subtract the positive number. So we're starting at 4 again, but this time the operator sign here is negative, indicating subtraction. So now our car is in reverse mode, meaning this car will be moving backwards. The sign on the 3 though is still positive, so the car is still facing right, or the positive direction, and we have 3 here again telling us we're going to be moving 3 units. So this car will move backwards 3 steps and will end up at 1. Again, we don't have to write the positive sign on this 3. We can just write 4 minus 3 equals 1. Now let's try operating with negative numbers, and instead of 4 plus a positive 3, let's do 4 plus a negative 3. So we're starting at 4 again, and the operator sign is positive, so we're adding and the drive mode is forward. This time though, the sign on the 3 is negative, which means the car is now facing left in the negative direction. The 3 again tells us we're going to move 3 steps. So our car is moving forward, but in the left or negative direction this time, and we'll end up at 1. This is actually the same result that we got in our 4 minus a positive 3 example. It turns out that whenever you add a negative number, it becomes the same as just subtracting that number. So this 4 plus a negative 3, we can write this just as 4 minus 3, which equals 1. This will become natural to you over time, but in the meanwhile, you can just think of our car. Subtracting a negative number is probably the most non-intuitive operation, but it's the last one. So for 4 minus a negative 3, the operator sign is negative, telling us we are subtracting and our car is in reverse mode. The sign on the number tells us the car is facing in the left or negative direction, and the 3 tells us we are moving 3 steps. So although the car is facing left, the car is in reverse and moving backwards. So the net result is that the car is actually moving in the positive direction. So the car will end up here over at 7. So when we subtract a negative number, it ends up being the same as adding that number. So if we see 2 negative signs like this, we can turn this into a plus sign and write 4 plus 3 equals 7. So the car is just there for you to visualize what's going on. In reality, you won't have time to think about a car every time you want to add or subtract. We just have to follow a set of rules here. So the first 2 are easy. you already know how to add and subtract positive numbers, right? So 4 plus a positive 3 is the same as 4 plus 3. 4 minus a positive 3 is just 4 minus 3. And you just have to remember, when you add a negative number, that's the same as subtracting that number. So 4 plus a negative 3 is the same as 4 minus 3. And then subtracting a negative number is the same as adding that number. So 4 minus a negative 3 is the same as 4 plus 3.